Between the Lines of Coach Stella, Season 4. I'm L. I'm here with my co-host, Coach Stella.
You know what it is, baby.
And it's our overtime segment, man. And in this overtime segment, we're going to go do it something different, man. We're gonna put Coach Stella on the spot.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Usually we do a lot of research and we coordinate to bring you guys a good flowing show. But I mean, we've been doing this for a few years now, so I decided I want to put Coach Stella on the spot.
Got you.
And see if we can catch him off guard, man. Let's see what we can do. You ready, Coach?
I'm ready, baby. Let's do it.
All right, here's my first question in our overtime segment for you, Coach.
Let's do it.
You know, during the off season, right? We be going around, saying the show is picking up a little steam. So I'm sure you like me, people stop you, ask you about things you think about in the off season.
For sure.
Who. So
all the time.
My question to you is, over the off season, what are the most frequently asked questions have you received during this off season?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one, brother. So I would say you got me on the spot with that one. I definitely get a lot of calls, texts, questions in the grocery store. I would say the 3 questions, I get asked most this offseason is, I'll go opposite order. So number 3, I would say a lot of people are asking me, who do I think will represent our area in Division 5? Between Girard, Mooney, and South Range. When you look at all 3 of those teams, we were lucky enough to be around all 3 of those teams this offseason / preseason. They all got good teams, good talent, good coaching, great tradition. When you look at Division 5, last year was Mooney versus Girard in the regional finals to see who represented. We know Mooney came out with the win. Girard is just as loaded, if not more loaded this year. Mooney got a lot of kids back. Got a couple kids in to help them guys out. Coach Frank doing a good job over there. So Mooney has a really good team, and they're loaded. And South Range also. I would say out of the 3, South Range probably gets the least amount of fanfare. You know what I mean? Just because, where they are located, they're not around as many other schools, smaller community type of feel. But Coach Rock and his team really do a great job over there. And that's just one of them programs I would never sell short or never count out. So I would say the number 3 question is, who do I think will represent our valley in the state semifinals in Division 5? The number 2 question probably I got this offseason, AO, was Ursuline. Just a lot of people asking me, like, what do I think Ursuline going to look like as far as coming off from the cancellation last year, everything they had to deal with last year. And my answer to that is, I don't know either. But I do know they got some good football players over there. I do know I'm rooting for Coach Stevens, his first year as a head coach. I know Coach Stevens personally, so I'm definitely rooting for Coach Stevens and his coaching staff to have a good year. And they do have talent. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what they're going to look like. We talked about them in week 1. They on the Stella scope. They're going down to Columbus to play against St. Francis de Sales, so I think that'll be good. So I would say that's question number 2. And number 1 is easily the number 1 question I get asked, probably because I'm a Warren guy, is what is Warren G. Harding going to look like, and how good is Asa Birch? It's not even close. We talked about Harding earlier when we were talking about them in the Stella scope, that they play Cam McKinley. They have talent. I think the coaches are working their butt off, doing a good job over there, trying to put them in the best position as possible. But I think this year is about the kids. Every good football team, every good team, period, is a player-led team. You, watch college sports, watch high school sports, watch pro sports. If you watch documentary of any of those teams that have won championships, they'll have a couple things in common. One of the things they'll have in common is it's a player-led team. Meaning they're taking care of the locker room, they're taking care of each other. They have good leadership, they have good toughness, physically and mentally. They can overcome adversity, like you was talking about earlier in the show. So I would say that question, and is how good is Asa Birch, being that Asa Birch, we know, really, as far as stock, nobody's stock has been rising probably in the country more than Asa Birch. You know what I mean? And I feel like the fact that he's a sophomore, only about to be a junior, a lot of people probably didn't pay attention to him last year. But then when you get to January, February, March, April, and it's like, man, he getting offers from the biggest programs in the country. I feel like a lot of people are just reaching in, wondering how good he is. When I look at Asa, He checks the box as far as size, speed, athleticism. 6'5", 225. He can bend. He can jump. You watch him play basketball. He has a basketball background. He's a pretty good basketball player. So I think the last step for Asa, and to be fair to Asa, is I feel like Asa's best football is probably 3-4 years from now. You know what I mean? Asa was late to football compared to a lot of other kids who probably started playing when they were 6 or 7. Asa's first year, I believe, was his 8th grade year. So now the last part of his game is just being able to tighten up his instincts, tighten up that football know-how, disengaging from blocks. You know what I mean? Football IQ, understanding the offensive line front that might be in front of him, how they want to block him, how they want to attack him, how the offense is trying to attack the defense as a whole. So I feel like those are the couple things that he need to work on to continue to develop his game, especially being that he's definitely going to be a power forward recruit. Continue to work on your football know-how. Continue to watch film. Continue to ask your coaches to work with you on technique, IQ, football know-how, and watching film. I feel like if you take all of that and add it to his frame, add it to his athleticism, add it to his pedigree that he does have with his family pedigree, I feel like you can have a pretty good player. But I feel like his best football is 3-4 years down the line.
Okay. The next question I got for you is let's see, name the two teams that you closely watching in week 1. And we talked about a lot of big games in week 1. What are the two teams that you watching the closest for week 1?
Ooh. Let's go. I'll say Fitch first. You know what I mean? Being over there, the preseason check-in, I know those kids really want to win week 1. I know they really want to get some get-back with Hudson. And I feel like if they do that, it can give them a lot of confidence and propel them. Not that their confidence is low. They know they have a talented team. They know they got a good program. But I feel like they really circled that week 1 matchup in the offseason. That probably was motivation while they were in the weight room, motivation while they were running sprints, just to become back as a better team individually and as a collective. So I got my eye on Fitch. I'm biased, so I got my eye on Warren G. Harding. It's kind of the same reasons. Being at Warren G. Harding, interviewing some of the kids, I know they have week 1 circled. You know what I mean? I wish I had my boy Worm here. Shout out to Worm. But I know we haven't beat Cam McKinley in a long, long time. You know what I mean? So if Harding can get a week 1 win at Camp McKinley, I feel like what that'll do for that team and that program where we are right now, I feel like that'll do wonders, you know what I mean, for the program. So I would say the second team is definitely Warren G. Harding. Number 3. You want me to stay in the area or you want me to go out the area for my third team? We talked about
I want a surprise. Let's go out the area.
Out the area team, I got my eye on Garfield Heights. Garfield Heights. Shout out to Coach Stevens, man. Was at Cleveland Heights prior to going to Garfield Heights. If you follow the program, read up on the program, Coach Stevens is doing a good job bringing talent in. We know what type of man Coach Stevens is. We know what he stands for as a man. I think he's a good coach. I would say keep your eye on Garfield Heights, man. They could be a team that could surprise a lot of teams. They have a really good basketball program. A lot of people don't look at them as a good football program, but I think Coach Stevens is doing a good job over there, building it slowly but surely. So I would say a surprise team that I got my eye on that a lot of people and fans probably don't is Garfield Heights.
Okay. All right, cool. And the last question pardon me. The last question.
It's all good.
The last question I got for you for the overtime segment is this.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. We know that you coach basketball. We know you coach football. We know you training all the kids. But what I want you to elaborate on is talk to me about your Love Your Community nonprofit organization. And I think this is very important. Talk to me about what the program, what the nonprofit organization is about, how it started, and what you guys are doing, because we're doing a lot of Love Your Community, doing a lot of good things in the community, and I want to take this opportunity to use this platform for you to be able to tell our viewers about the Love Your Community organization, as well as elaborate on what it means to you.
No doubt, bro. I appreciate that. For one, I appreciate that. So Love Your Community is our nonprofit in Warren, Ohio. I want to shout out and say thank you to my brothers, Carl Diggs, Fernando Phillips, and Mike Phillips. Those are my three brothers that we came together and formed Love Your Community together. Started in 2022. I feel like it was one of those things, to be honest, L, is something we've been working on our whole life, being where we're from, how we were raised, the people that raised us. And it was something we kind of wanted to do to give back to Carl's grandmother, Miss Emma Diggs, Mike and Fernando's father, Mr. Richard Phillips, who done a lot for me, taught me a lot of lessons. I didn't have a father in my life, so a lot of times when I was at Mike and Fernando's house and around those guys, he stepped in to be the father figure. And then my grandparents, Bernice and Nod Hines, who raised me, raised their 8 kids, some of my other cousins. So it was kind of something we kind of been working towards our whole life without even knowing, being that those people raised us. And then, over the years, we're all good friends. We always talk about stuff we want to do in the community. I would say in kind of the last straw was, 4 years ago, my oldest son got killed. So at that time, like my mental was kind of all over the place. I'm not a violent dude. I try to be the nicest person in the world. I love kids. Anybody that's a family, friends, or I coach you, they know who I am. They know my heart. At that time, I was struggling though. You know what I mean? I had just lost my oldest son, so I'm human. I had a lot of negative thoughts and a lot of things I was thinking about doing that wasn't me and wasn't true to who I am. So I just had to take that energy. And I remember calling Fernando and Mike and Carl and just kind of telling them, like, now is the time. And really, I needed them, you know what I mean, at that time to do it with me. So I could just kind of take some of that energy I had from pain and turn it into trying to do something good for the community. And at the same time, our community was struggling, still struggling right now to this day. But I'm a kid that, like I said, my grandparents raised me. You know what I mean? I didn't have a father around. My mother also was kind of in and out. So I was the guy that had grandparents. I needed the community. I needed the Rebecca Williams Community Center, which my grandfather helped run. I needed Coach Earl, Coach Ron, Coach Harold, those coaches when I was young to kind of build a village around me. Mr. Phillips, when I was at his house, all those type of people. I feel like just helped get us to where we are now and just trying to give back and do what they did. You know what I mean? We have annual, football camps. Weren't able to have it this year, which hurt my heart because of the thunderstorms. But we have free camps for the kids. We have mentorships. Last night we had our first men's talk event. I appreciate you for coming.
Sure.
That was a success. We got to bring in some kids that we coach that are younger adults. I got to bring in some kids that are teenagers that do some things with our nonprofit and just kind of sit around, eat good together, have an open dialogue conversation. And to me, it was a beautiful event. So we're going to continue to do those, probably have one each quarter, and can just continue to give back. Our community is in such a bad place right now as far as when it comes to the younger generation. But I don't want to be one of those people to just be talking about, they bad, they doing this, they doing that. As I get older, people that I'm around, that especially adults that constantly just want to talk about how bad the community is or how bad kids are, but you're not doing nothing to help. It's kind of one of those things that kind of gets underneath my skin, and I don't like, and I don't want to be that person. We don't want to be those people as a nonprofit organization. So we just trying to do the best we can, and come together, give back to our community, be a part of as many villages as possible because people did it for us. And hopefully every year just continue to make it bigger. Hopefully continue to help make younger men better, you know what I mean, better people. Continue to help some of these single mothers who are doing it on their own, see if we can step in and help them whenever we can, any day, any time that we can. And just continue to love our community. At the end of the day, tomorrow ain't promised. You know what I mean? Nobody gonna be here forever. So when it's all said and done, when you look at me individually, you look at us as a group, I would hope one of the things that people can say about us is they love their community. They definitely love the people from their community, and most particularly, they love the kids from their community. So you know what it is, man, just trying to come together, do as much stuff as we can for the community, but then also having people like you know what I mean, that comes and helps out. Steve Golden, my cousin Aaron Dunklin, Rashawn Shannon, my brother Rashawn Shannon, my brother Tree Warfield, having people like that. Shout out to my brother Maurice Taylor. Just people like that, no matter what type of event we having, that want to come pour in and help us out as much as they can, because it's 4 of us that's running the nonprofit, but we can't do it on our own either. And you never know which adult a young kid is going to attach to, you know what I mean, and build a relationship with and look up to. So, I mean, that's Love Your Community. I feel like we're doing some good stuff, man. We got the 7-on-7 underneath Love Your Community, which is a 7-on-7 travel team. But we like to look at it as the kids are going to focus on football. We're going to coach them football, but let's get them out the city. In 2 years, we've been able to take them to Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, get them out the city, let them see some stuff. We were able to take them on a visit to Indiana University. No matter when you're dealing with kids, seeing is believing. We talk about that all the time. It's one thing to lay in your bed and dream. It's one thing for adults to tell you could do something. But the most important thing to me is actually getting out in the world, seeing stuff, making it more tangible, more realistic, and seeing is believing. So just using all these avenues of things that we're doing at the end of the day just to try to make our community better, help out wherever we can. And honestly, all I'm doing is what a lot of people did for me.
Indeed, man. And first and foremost, man, rest in peace, D.
No
You
doubt.
know what I'm saying? And Coach, we've been rocking since, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Way back.
Shout out my guy Casey, man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Queso 2-1. You know what I'm saying? My guy. And we've been rocking since, back when D and Casey was, you was coaching them back with the Little Raiders. And,
Yep.
and you know what I'm saying? I've watched how you pour in, even before that tragedy, I've watched how you poured into kids and how you know what I'm saying, you was the young coach that, you know what I'm saying, the kids gravitated to you, you know what I'm saying? And you never really stopped pouring into them kids. I feel like I was right there when I seen you like find your calling,
Yep.
like, and I said, and it was before, I mean, like you said, it was something that your whole life was gonna be your life mission.
Right.
But
you're right though. That was around the time when I found my calling. And I tell people I'm just doing what I feel like what God put me here to do. But you're right, bro.
Absolutely, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Love your community.
No doubt, baby.
See how we coming.
You know what it is.
You see how we coming.
You know what
You know
it
what I
is.
mean? So shout out to you. Shout out to the guys, Carl, Mike. You know what I'm saying? These men, I can vouch personally that, you know what I'm saying, these guys always going to pour into whoever, not just the kids. They're going to pour into the adults. They're going to pour into the young adults. And they're going to lead by example, going to lead by action. So I salute to all of the guys. Salute to you, Coach Stella.
Appreciate you, bro.
Love your community. Hey, find out how you can get in touch with Coach Stella, how you can support the Love Your Community thing, because, I would say this, like, a lot of times when we talk about communities that's riddled with, whether it be poverty, violence, or just like when the youth kind of get misled, you know what I'm saying, by through the environment and the conditions of the environment, it almost like sometimes that our youth becomes the industry, right? The kids become the industry of the area, and it seems like we be like seeing a whole lot of organizations, which don't get me wrong, we're not turning down no help for, anybody who want to commit their life to supporting the future, for sure. We with it. But,
no doubt.
I can honestly say, like, seeing Love Your Community start from the beginning and seeing the work that you guys put in, like you said, for you guys, along with, help from some supporting guys, you guys do a lot. Never gonna beat your chest and talk about I. Y'all are selfless servers, man. And you know what I'm saying? So I salute you from one leader to another, bro. Keep doing your thing, and you already know.
For sure.
We locked in.
Forever,
Anything
baby.
From my foxhole, we get it.
You know it,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? So,
big bro.
Y'all tap in, love your community, teamwork, dreamwork, all of that. Find out what's going on and find out how you can help.
No doubt.
All right, it's time for the shout outs, man. We're gonna wrap up season 4, episode 1. We on fire.
Here we go, man.
I'm feeling good.
I'm gonna go first, bro. I like for you to take us out, bro. So I'm gonna let you take us out, bro. So I got my shout outs, man. First of all, I want to shout out you. You know what I mean? I say it every year. Black-owned media company, 4 years now. Building is getting better and better every year. Shout out to you.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to nephew Khalid on the 1s and 2s over here. We got the best producer in the game.
Sure.
Never too old to follow, never too young to lead. Nephew lead by daddy, keep us on point in here when we shooting. Very, very talented individual, man. So shout out to you, nephew. Shout out to all the coaches, players, administrators who contribute to high school football. More importantly, that gives us access, whether it's during the season, off season. They give us access to their program. So we appreciate y'all. Shout out to Coach Antrim, his coaching staff, the players in the community in Youngstown. Year one of the Youngstown Defenders and their consolidation. Got to shout them out, man. Got a chance to go over there and sit with some of the coaches, sit with some of the players. I love the energy they got over there, man. I'm rooting for them. I ain't gonna lie, I'm rooting for y'all every week except week 2. But I definitely want y'all to have an amazing year, man. And in year one, good luck to all of y'all, man. Do y'all thing. Shout out to Love Your Community, man. We just talked about them. Shout out to Teamwork, Dreamwork, everybody that helps us with that, all our kids that's involved with that. Shout out to my kids, my oldest, Denasia, who's about to go to Akron University as a freshman.
Yeah.
So, Daddy, love you. I'm proud of you. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Deuce, my daughter, Danielle, Deja, and my granddaughter, Malaya. Daddy and Pawpaw love y'all. Shout out Warren, Ohio, baby. I love where I'm from. No other place I'd rather be from. So, shout out to Warren, Ohio. And my last shout out, I hope you clip this. You clip this however you want, put this out. But I'm shouting out the Warren Little Raiders and the Warren Little Panthers. The reason why I'm doing that, man, is so much talk going on in the city. Both teams don't play. This all I'm going to say is to the adults that's making the decisions, don't say it's about the kids if it ain't about the kids. And I'm talking to both sides. And I'm talking to both sides. I get tired of I'm out in the community, whether I'm talking to somebody or I hear somebody talking about it. Everybody says it's about the kids till it's time for it to be about the kids. And then you ask questions of why they not playing, and well, this person don't like that person, and this person that's administrator don't want to do it because of this, that, and the third. That's one of the reasons why we are where we are as far as being in Warren, Ohio. If it's about the babies, let's make it about the babies. Ain't no reason why them two teams shouldn't be playing with everything we got going on in the community. The last thing we need to be doing is trying to divide. It's okay to be a friendly competitor. You just talked about Mike Phillips, one of my best friends in the world, my brother. We got the same birthday and everything. The first half of our life, me and Mike played everything against each other. There wasn't one person I wanted to beat more than Mike because I knew how good he was. I'm sure he'd tell you the same thing about me. But also after the game, we dapped it up. Sometimes that weekend, I may be at his family's house. Mr. and Mrs. Phillips still took me out to eat. So we had to learn how to be friendly competitors. Don't get it twisted. The competition never failed. He wanted to beat my head in, I wanted to beat his head in. But at the end of the day, the community taught us how to be friendly competitors. Because also at the end of the day, these kids going to be going to school together. If the kids continue to play football, they're going to play football together. They're going to be in the same hallways. They're going to be in the same locker room. They got to live in the same city. So we don't want to have no bad blood that has started from Little League football because of how the adults are handling the situation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let's teach both sides how to love each other, and it's okay to want to really, really beat somebody. If you got a brother, who you want to beat more than your brother? Right. If you got a first cousin that you're around all the time, what feels better than beating your cousin, big cousin, little cousin? If you got an uncle or a pops that's teaching you how to play the game, who better to beat than one of them? It's okay to be a competitor and be friendly, and it's okay to do it and love each other. What comes with that is life lessons. If me and you love each other, if you beat me, it's up to the people in my life that's raising me to teach me how to handle losing. It's also up to you, if you beat me, to the people in your life to teach you how to handle winning. So my message and my last shout out is to the Warren Little Raiders and the Warren Little Panthers. I hope all y'all squads have good seasons. I know mostly all the kids. Y'all know I love all of y'all. I'm rooting for y'all, and at the end of the day, ain't no reason why we should be in a town with two teams, one family, one town, and we not playing each other because of a lot of stuff that's going on with adults. When I was growing up, it was two teams. We played each other every year. It was a big game. I'm sure the organizations made a lot of money for their organizations that helped out, but most people, most friends I have to this day came from competition. And I got a lot of brothers that I love that beat me, and I was able to beat them sometimes. So my message is shout out to the kids. Y'all ball out. Y'all do y'all thing. Try to win every game. Keep a good attitude. Be coachable. Be a great teammate. And then my last message is to the adults. If it's about the kids, make it about the kids. Remove whatever self-ego you have. Remove whatever problems you may have with somebody else and put the kids first. I'm out.
For sure. And my shout outs, I'm gonna start out with shout out to my family, the Incredibles. You know how we give it up.
No doubt.
Shout out to Coach. Love your community team, man. You know how we do. Shout out to Don C. You know what I'm saying? Don C is our other team member out there in West Virginia doing his thing. Shout out to Don C. He always tapping in. He's always tracking. So big shout out to you, Don C.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? We even in your absence, we feel your presence, gang.
Yep. And keep being great, Don C.
You already know it.
Keep being great.
And he just did a great interview with David Lee Morgan. David Lee Morgan, he has a new book out. You know what I'm saying? A Phenomenon, where he talks about his exclusive access to LeBron James during the high school years.
Yep.
So be on the lookout for that. We got an exclusive interview with him that we about to drop here on the interviews platform.
Also a Warren guy too. So shout out to David Lee Morgan. Shout out to Don C. Shout out. I know you mentioned it, but I wanted to shout out to the defenders. You know what I'm saying? We got to go check in with those guys this year. This preseason. And like you had already mentioned, the vibes, the energy, and just talking to them young men, they understand what they trying to do is bigger than football. Every one of them got their community uppermost in their mind, and nothing but respect for what they doing over there. And we pulling for them. So shout out to the defenders. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go get y'all. You see how we? You know how we doing it. But shout out to the defenders. You know, shout out the both Warren and Youngstown communities. You know what I'm saying? We got an opportunity now to do something special as far as overshining the negative with a lot of positive. We travel all over the valley. We don't receive nothing but love. So we know we get to experience the truth. And the truth of the matter is, there's way more love than there is hate. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? There's way more love than there is hate. And in both communities, we just gotta, you know what I'm saying, use our platform and use our energy to kind of highlight that. Shout out to my man on the 1 to 2s, Lid.
Nephew.
You know what I'm saying? He about to put him to sleep. Between the Lines with Coach Stella, season 4.
Hey, and before we get out of here, you know what it is.
You see it.
Season 4.
Mario Manningham, stay locked in between the lines with Coach Stella.